This is the 74 Fighter by Jim Walker from the 1930s and 40s. And I've built some bigger designs, one this big. And I'm now going to build another one. And I didn't have the original plans, but I do have the original airplane. Here's my 6x scale 74 Fighter. And I built it in 1986, so just about 25 years ago. Flew it at Torre Pines in a scale contest. And I flew it routinely for a year or two. Then it had a few incidents and it got really fragile. This is very thin balsa and it's cracking, and so I decided to retire it rather than have it come apart. But now it's time to build another one. So you start with a Xerox copy of the airplane. Take this little toy, put it on a Xerox machine and push enlarge. After that, you have to build some structure under this wing planform. And I don't really have my original drawings. So, the one good thing is that I have my original airfoil sections that I used for this airplane here. So I am now doing the first step in building a wing, which is to build the parts. And these are the airfoil sections. I've got about 3/4 of them done. And I'm on my way to building a new 6x scale RC-74 Fighter. Should be fun. By the way, in my research here on this design, I had accumulated a few things at some trade shows, and these are some of Jim Walker's other designs. This is a modern version, or actually, no, it's pretty much replica of the Hornet, which was the rubber band powered airplane that Jim Walker marketed back in the 40s and 50s. And then there's the 404 folding wing interceptor. This one has wings that fold back. And I'll look at this a little bit more later. And then, of course, now this is a redo of that same airplane. And it's got some different features to it. Some plastic where there was metal before, and I'm not sure this is better. A ball bearing in the nose. So in terms of flying, the old airplane is still better. But and in here is a 74 Fighter again in pieces, I think. So a few pieces. These are the things you need to build a new airplane. Just scale it up. Now, so the 74 Fighter and the 404 Interceptor and the Hornet were the three toy airplanes that Jim Walker designed and marketed back in the 40s and 50s. He died in 1958. He did also originate control line flying, and he called it U-Control. And this is a control RC now converted Fireball, a Jim Walker Fireball, which was U-Control, he called it, with a U-Reely. But it was a great flying RC airplane too. That's the Fireball. Here's the 6x scale 74 Fighter. Oh yeah, I've got another scale of it too that I built. This is really a fun one. This is 3x scale. And this one is covered with monocoat. And really a fun little hand toss airplane, 36-inch wingspan. So this is where I build and operate my training fleet out of for flight training. That's my main job, is a flight instructor. And this is my fleet of trainers. This is the Cadet Senior. And I've gone all electric now. This is another Senior here. And inside here we just have this big open space where we used to have a lot of servos and push rods. And now there's just a battery up under here. One that's this size, weigh about a little over 2 pounds. There's another electric Cadet Senior, all set up and ready to go with the ICE 75. That's the ESC, the speed control. And there's a electric Rascal that I converted from gas powered, and I put some Tundra tires on it, and it's pretty cool. And here's my old trainer, my old tried and true, and it's the 95 OS engine on the same airplane here as the now electric, which has the 80 size engine from Electrifly, the Rimfire 80. And now this is the old 95 AX with fuel that used to cost about almost $30 a gallon getting up there. So now I'm not buying fuel anymore. And this same propeller is now being turned by an electric motor at about 500 RPM less. So I can get close to 10,000 out of this engine here. I get about 90, 9,300, 92, 93 with this, but that's still plenty of power, and the airplane goes right on up. There's my little Cub that I fly with my friend John and Mike and Devin, or Kevin rather, and Lauren. So, and this is the PBY that we fly. So it's a lot of fun flying airplanes and teaching others how to fly and building new airplanes. And even if it's a redo of an old project, for some years I've read things on forums talking about the 74 fighter that I built as a radio-controlled model, and people were wondering where they could get a plan for it. Well, maybe you could watch this video and figure out how to build one for yourself. All right, next video coming up.